Delighted to say, coming in live from Brisbane for the first update chat is Kathleen McNamee. Good morning, good night, good... What time is it, Kathleen?
It's a bit of a good evening here. It's 4:45, so in the evening.
It's perfect time for you. This is perfect.
Looks it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm actually just in the media room. Everyone else is outside. The team just started training there about 10 minutes ago. Chatting to Vera for a little bit as well beforehand. So it's the first time we've got kind of close to the team since arriving. All incredibly jet lagged, and I don't know how coherent we were when we were talking to them, but they seem in good form. How
so the jet lag hit you hard and hit you fast?
Yeah, like I got into Brisbane about 11 o'clock in the evening, the time, like Australian time, and for some reason I just keep waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not being able to go back to sleep. So yeah, I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, feeling it a little bit now at 4:45 in the evening, but also hopefully over the next couple of days. I've been given some hints and tips by some locals here who are watching open trainings, people who are originally from Ireland and here to celebrate the team. Actually, one of them, I asked them who their favourite member of Off the Ball was, and Shane, you were the person that they said. So I said I would pass on my
Who are you talking to? Who are these people? Like God.
I have video and audio evidence of it, which I can send through to you.
The egos, you've just heard two massive egos in this studio, Kathleen. Two huge egos.
Kathleen, does that mean you asked that person twice? So then you said, who's your favourite? And then I'll do it again there for video and audio.
No. As in, I had it, like, I was already chatting away to them about like why they came here to visit the team. Guy has lived here for he's lived here for 30 years, and he puts AM and also the weekend show up on the big screen on the TV and watches it on YouTube.
What's his name, Kathleen?
Noel.
Shout out to Noel. He's
from
great
Belfast.
taste. Noel from Belfast. Great taste. It's my uncle Noel up in Belfast there. No, it's not. Shout out to Noel.
Look how happy you are. Like, look at this.
These are both devastated.
I can't believe it. I'm just interested in Noel's taste, that's all.
Two lads got it.
Document.
So you're meeting some well versed and mature Irish fans over there. Are there many Irish fans you're bumping into on the street anecdotally?
Not so many on the street so far. I think a lot of people are still just flying in from just talking to the couple of people that are here at the open training session. Actually, a lot of the people that are at the training session are just from Brisbane or have been living here for a while anyways. There's the Queensland supporters group, so they welcomed the team into the airport when they flew in. You guys might have seen the viral photos of Katie with the baby and the whole team with the baby. It was on the front pages of some of the papers at home. Yeah, so they've been doing the rounds a lot with the team and talking to various people, trying to stir up a bit of activity. I was also informed that the Queensland GA senior semi-final is happening on Sunday, so shout out to them as well. No one told me who's playing, and I'm waiting to get that information. But
you're doing live commentary about it on Sunday, so you don't want to find out.
I know.
You're probably going to be presenting the trophy, Kathleen. Actually, can we get that? Can we organise that?
Oh yeah.
What's the name of the competition?
At 9 a.m. It's just the Queensland semi-final for the GA.
Oh, it's a semi-final. Okay, but for the final, you could be back. And I think it would be appropriate for you to present the trophy to the winners.
Yeah.
Well, the lads,
Shane Hannon Memorial Trophy.
The Shane Hannon fan club were asking me, did I have any good prizes? Because they have like they have like a little World Cup draw, and I was joking that I could get them an Off the Ball signed jersey, and they were actually very keen on the idea. So I might have to start doing
kind of Andrew Ridgely, and we're kind of George Michael over here, I think. Really.
In many ways.
Ridgely's still alive, so happy days.
Whoa. Is that his favourite anymore? Is that the type of hero you want? Like,
I'll send over like a little Monaghan Teddy or a cameo.
It's a dark side to you, actually. If people got to know the real you, like, he says stuff like this off air all the time. Like, it's way worse.
You bring it out of me, lads.
It's way worse.
Kathleen, obviously Ireland actually aren't playing in Brisbane till the last game, so I'd imagine most of the family are probably going to go straight to Sydney, but there are games in Brisbane, and from what I was reading yesterday, there's quite a few teams based in Brisbane as well for their training camps. Is there much of a sense that this World Cup, the biggest ever Women's World Cup, is on the verge of kicking off?
There isn't a massive amount, I have to say. Like, there's a couple of flags around the place, but it is also kind of relatively anonymous. I've talked to a few different people in, like, say, restaurants or shops, and just kind of asked them, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing over here? And I'd say the World Cup's on, and they're kind of like, oh yeah. And like, people have a vague notion that it's on, but I don't know, has the hype really set in yet? It certainly doesn't feel like it, but also I've only properly had time to wander around Brisbane for like a day now, so it could be, as the week goes on, more and more of that kind of starts building up. I know England are about the place, and I was chatting to some of the media that are covering them, and they said there's actually been quite a good hype around them, but they're also their base is a bit further down the coast from here. So I think a couple of thousand people turned up for their open training session, which was quite good going considering how far away from home they are.
That's what I was going to ask you, Kathleen. I know you've only had a day or so to see Brisbane. You have a lovely photo on the back of the Star this morning of Amber Barrett and Heather Payne with the Brisbane nice looking skyline behind them, and decent looking weather as well. Nice city so far.
Yeah, it is really nice. Like, in fairness, yesterday was glorious. It was like 23, 24 degrees, blue skies. You're kind of wandering around. It's a little bit strange because it's winter here, so it starts getting dark at like 5 o'clock in the evening, and I just wasn't prepared for that, having been used to being in Irish summer. But then today we were joking that because we were pitch side where the team are training, doing these interviews, and the last 2 times we've interviewed the players back home in Ireland in the UCD Bowl, it's absolutely lashed rain. And like, the weather at home has been quite nice recently. It's like one of the few days it's lashed rain, and of course we were chatting to Vera earlier, and what happens, it starts to rain and all the like locals are like, oh, we haven't seen rain in a few days. It's
lashing rain at 6 o'clock this morning here, so
yeah. I think
we just brought it with us.
I would, Kathleen, describe Brisbane as underrated in Australia. Yeah, I lived there.
Oh, you lived in Brisbane?
Learn me. Yeah, Sydney. But I have family in Brisbane.
Sydney's not
Sorry,
Brisbane.
wait a second.
Family in Brisbane. The City Cat. The City Cat's where it's at in Brisbane. You get that? It's like it's boat travel. That's like their big. It's almost like their bus over there. You go everywhere in the City Cat.
Okay.
Very cool city.
Right.
It is quite cool. I did actually walk by that the other day, and I was going to hop on, but then I wasn't entirely sure where I'd end up.
Real hipster kind of vibe. That's why Colm went, I think.
What?
Real hipster vibe in Brisbane, is it?
No. Very commercial.
What European city would it most compare to?
Oh wow, you're really putting me on the spot here.
I'm in the like commercial district where I'm staying, and it's very like Canary Wharf. Like that's what it feels like. And then when you go over to the South Bank and along the river, it's a lot more chill vibes.
Yeah.
Like vaguely European at times, I think. Kind of reminds me of like Lisbon or something, along the river there when you can go out.
If it's a hipster Australian city, you're looking no further than Melbourne.
Right, that's the hipster spot.
Yeah, that's the part.
That's what Colm most enjoys then.
Yeah, I didn't live there now.
Kathleen, we will catch up over the next...
Is there any news, Kathleen? Like, she's at open training a week out from the World Cup. I don't know if you noticed, but our captain was hobbling off the pitch the last time we saw her.
Is Katie alright?
We were getting there.
Is Katie alright?
Katie McCabe is absolutely fine. She is in full training out there. She had a scan before the training session and everything. And she's been reviewed for the last couple of days. There are no injury concerns with the squad at the moment. From what I saw when I was out there, the only player who was training slightly to the side was Rusha Littlejohn, but also she has been doing that for the majority of training sessions this entire build-up. So I think, like we talked before on the show about the fact that she, stopped playing with her club kind of early to make sure that she stayed injury-free. So possibly just that. But yeah, team is all fit and ready. Vera's excited. Game behind closed doors on Friday against Colombia. So that will be interesting just to see, does everyone come out of that with no injuries whatsoever? And yeah, there'll be lots of content coming over the next couple of days. Some Vera interviews winging their way to you through very slow Australia Wi-Fi at the moment.
Because I was a bit concerned that maybe you weren't in Brisbane, because we've no way of you pulled a fast one here. Like, you made up some convoluted story about being a fan of Shane Hannon, which
post that video of
that's
Noel
all
from
he's
Belfast.
heard.
Yeah.
So we need some visual proof here, Kathleen.
Nathan, I still have the sore back from the 20-hour flight over here, stuck on the tarmac in Dubai.
I was going to say because she's carrying this show.
That's what I thought. I thought she was going to go from carrying you during the broadcast in Tala last Thursday night.
That's fair.
Oh, but no, she's not as cynical as us.
Guys, my ego is just not as big as yours.
No, that's fair.
Kathleen, any idea when the Colombia match is kicking off? What time?
It's 8 o'clock Australian time, so 8 o'clock Brisbane time, which is 9 hours ahead of you guys.
Okay.
Will we even hear the results?
That's like producer Colm coming in.
Yeah.
We probably won't hear the result. A lot of the time what you get is just like a little bit of trickle of information through about it. So, any injuries, how it went. If we got absolutely hammered, you'd probably hear it. But apart from that, you remember when they had the Germany game in Marbella, it was all pretty tight. a few sources from outside the camp let me know what happened in that one. So maybe that'll happen, and everyone needs to tune into COYGIG to hear more. Lest I say any more.
Wow. There you go.
Good.
Get the COYGIG Pod wherever you get your podcast. Kathleen, we'll check in again across the next couple of days before that Colombia game. Thanks a million for hopping on this evening.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy the city, Cat.
I will.
And if you meet any, fans of...
Oh, you lads
just do text us and video that, honestly.
I did leave it out that Jer and Joe were also in the list of people mentioned. But AM was well represented.
How obvious. This guy's no creativity, no imagination. Like the two most famous people, a big deal. Like,
he's got
Nathan
current sports broadcast of the year here.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Reigning
and defending
3 times.
Kathleen, great stuff. Thanks a million.
3 times.
Thanks, guys.
Great stuff. As I try to deal with these two lads mumbling beside me, it's never easy dealing with the egos in the studio, but this morning it's particularly difficult.